Hey y'all, Jay here at the top of the show. Just to let you guys know that from this point onward, the Hey Poor podcast is actually going to be recording bi-weekly. Reason for this, really just being that we want to make sure that in every episode we can give you guys enough content to make an interesting episode, make a good episode where we're talking about a good mix of whatever news stuff has occurred and just whatever other stuff we want to do. Because really that's what we think Hey Poor Player really should be, and that's what we strive to make it, and we feel that obviously the podcast should reflect that. We want to focus on whatever's relevant, but we also want to be able to focus on what we like, be that retro or newer stuff, without making entire episodes of just contrived bullshit topics when we have no actual news to talk about. Because there have been some episodes where we haven't really had anything to talk about, so we just choose a topic off a list. And I think it's better, and I think I speak for Frank and Andrew and Bert and everyone else when I say that we want Hey Poor Player to be about what people expect us to be about, which is a mix of the new and the old. So that's what the podcast is going to be, and in order to maintain that, we decided to start going bi-weekly. So just so you guys know, that's how it's going to be from now on. Without any further ado, enjoy the show. Welcome to another episode of the Hey Poor Podcast. I'm Jay, and today I'm joined by Frank.
Yo.
And Andrew.
Hey, guys.
And Marius.
Hey, guys. Long time no see or hearing.
And today we're going to talk about E3. E3, it's been quite the big E3. A lot of controversy, a lot of people yelling at each other. 2 new consoles got revealed, and Nintendo sort of just sat off to the side like, hey, I'm here too. What's up? So first off, we're gonna sort of go chronologically, or roughly chronologically, through the 3 main events here. Starting right off, guys, Microsoft. They've got the Xbox One, and we sure have said our opinions on that before. It won't be a surprise to anyone to say that I don't think any of us here today are that looking forward to it. I wish we could have gotten Trevor on this episode so he could have told us all how wrong we are. But yeah, Xbox One they showed. We got Rise, Son of Rome, we got Metal Gear Solid 5, we got Killer Instinct reboot, we got new Forza, Sunset Overdrive, which looked vaguely interesting, Quantum Break, a few other things. What for you guys were the big points coming out of the Xbox One's conference?
I'm probably going to be the minority here and say that Killer Instinct really had me pumped. I was a big fan of the old games, and just, seeing, the series mainstays, Saberwolf and Glacius going at it really got me pumped. I knew from the start last month when they said that Rare had something up their sleeves, I had a really strong feeling it was going to be Killer Instinct. Although I have to say that when the dust cleared, the next day and they actually announced that Killer Instinct was going to be free to play with 1 character out the gate and the rest you buy. Wow, what the fuck happened there? My enthusiasm was a little curbed.
No, I was going to say, that was shocking and hilarious. Because I actually have another friend who was saying he was actually considering buying an Xbox One just for this new Killer Instinct game, and that turned him on. He was like, oh, never mind. No, I'm good. I'm gonna play my fighting games where I can actually have the characters. That sounds fine to me.
And it's funny because that was pretty much the exact wave I was riding there. And it's a fucking fighting game. Everyone's going to want to experiment with the entire roster. That's the way fighting games work. You go to 1 character, you master him, you move on to the next. It's going to be incredibly lopsided online if you only have half the players, you don't really have a good character to counteract, your opponent. The balance is just going to be broken unless you buy the full game. So on that note, this just really seems like a slimy kind of cash grab from Rare and Double Helix. I'm disappointed. So that pretty much took the wind out of my sails immediately. I want to pass it around a bit and we'll go back to what else I liked from the conference. What about you, Andrew?
The game Spark they showed was a very imaginative looking game. Basically, you got to create the world around you and then create the town and live in it and fight off like giant magical orcs. And you could use the Xbox Smart Glass to kind of manipulate the land around you. And you could tell that what they showed was scripted, but it was still like a really cool concept. I really liked the idea. That was my favorite thing to get out of the conference.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I'm kind of getting a vibe from it. It's like a Little Big Planet meets, I want to say Skylanders in a way, at least from the aesthetic. But it looks like fun. I could be into it. I think it's a good use of smart glass for once.
Yeah, it looks very imaginative. If I were to play an Xbox One, that'd be the game I'd want to try.
Yeah, although can we agree that on stage the demo that they showed on stage was mostly like pre-rendered?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
But like he's saying the voice commands right as it's doing all these things. I think one thing happened on the screen a second before he tells it to do it. Like it was clearly all scripted, but it looks cool. That's actually my most interested thing I got out of the conference too was Spark. What about you, Marius? What'd you get out of the Xbox One conference the most?
Well, I would say it's Metal Gear 5. But that's cross-platform,
right.
So it doesn't really count.
That's the thing. Yeah, I was surprised we saw that there, because I mean, Metal Gear is traditionally a like Sony property. That was really funny that it got exclusive showing at the beginning of Microsoft.
Yeah, and who the hell shows a not exclusive title at the beginning of their own event?
Yeah.
You have to wonder if it means something that Kojima was actually endorsing the platform. Are we going to see some bonuses on Microsoft's console that we're not getting across the board? Only time's going to really tell. But
the only reason Metal Gear games were never on the Xbox 360 is because it would have taken like 8 DVDs to put the latest Metal Gear game on the 360.
Right.
Yeah. And then there's some of them, like I have the HD collection of Solid 2, Solid 3, and whatever that PSP one was.
Peace Walker.
Yeah.
Japan is soon going to get the collector's edition with all Metal Gear games, besides the newest one, which is surprising.
Yeah, I'm not that much of a Metal Gear fan, but that did look pretty cool, actually. Sort of the open world Metal Gear style game. That did look pretty neat.
I think what's going to be interesting is to see if, the Metal Gear games, all told, the stories are very tightly wound and they're pretty linear. You don't have a lot of room to really approach the story from any different angles from the path you're given. Now, introducing the game into an open world, it's going to be interesting to see how the narrative plays out.
Very, yeah. Yeah, that's something I was interested to hear. I know allegedly it takes place, or like they mention a date and time at some point in the trailer, and allegedly it's around the same day as around the same like year as the original Metal Gear, so it might tie in with that.
Yeah, it's in the 80s.
Yeah, in Afghanistan, if I'm not mistaken. So that could be pretty interesting. But yeah, Metal Gear looks cool. All those things look cool. Let's see, what else? Look at Sunset Overdrive. I'm a big fan of Insomniac games. I love the Ratchet and Clank games. Sunset Overdrive looks like it could be pretty interesting. I mean, what we saw wasn't actual gameplay. It was just some dudes running around. But just visually, it looked really cool. It kind of reminded me of if someone took a little bit of Mirror's Edge and then mixed it with Jet Set Radio.
Yeah, it was definitely really stylish and slapstick at the same time, and with Insomniac's penchant for ridiculous weapons and over-the-top gameplay, I think that, while again that was obviously cinematic, if we can see a lot of those ideas carried over the gameplay, it could be pretty interesting. As it stands now, I'm kind of getting the vibe this is going to be a little on the arcadey side, and you know what? That's fine. That sounds cool to me.
That's no problem with that, because it does look just a very stylistic game. I mean, a guy was shooting a gun that was shooting records. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Speaking of shooting guns, what did you think of Quantum Break, Jay?
Oh, they showed it. Wow, I literally don't remember a single thing about what they showed for Quantum Break. That's how little of an impression it made. I'm racking my brain trying to remember what they showed for that. Oh, man. Oh, no, that was when they showed, like, the trailer of Time Froze, and then the guy goes in and gets the girl. Yeah, that was a thing. I don't know. I wasn't particularly impressed by it. I think the idea of having a TV show tie in with it is going to flop. It's not.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at, too. But I do have faith in Remedy. I thought Max Payne that was Rockstar. I'm sorry. But the original Max Paynes, they were great games, 1 and 2, and I really thought Alan Wake was something interesting. So they're a really talented bunch of guys, and I think that they definitely have the ability to make a really good Xbox exclusive IP again this time around. Hopefully we won't have to wait another 6 years of the Xbox One being around for the game to ship, but we'll see.
The guy looks a lot like Max Payne, actually.
Yes, he does.
Sounds like the Sega CD lives on in its spirit in the Xbox One, full motion video games.
Yeah, they're trying it.
Yeah, cinematic trailer, what can you do?
Yeah. Well, no, but yeah, that's actually tied in with a TV show. You know it's gonna flop, and... But, yeah, there's that. There's a lot of car games. There's the Forza Motorsport.
I can see your enthusiasm for racing.
There were so many racing. Like, I enjoy an okay racing game now and then, whatever. I like Mario Kart. There were so many racing games at this E3 between Microsoft, Sony, and Ubisoft. There were a lot of racing games. Like,
but you're not complaining about Mario Kart 8, are you?
No, I mean, it looks exactly like Mario Kart 7, but with some more clever track stuff. I might get it. I don't know. I'm not much of a Mario Kart fan. It's okay. It's a thing I'll pick up. But yeah, because we had Forza here, we had Gran Turismo at Sony, and we had The Crew at Ubisoft.
Right. Do you know why they showed so many racing games? Because racing counts as a sport, and as you all know, Microsoft seems to love sports and TV.
That's a fair point. Oh, so how about that Rise, Son of Rome game? Call of Duty with Roman soldiers. Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that Roman landing was it smacked of the Normandy invasion there. Kind of threw me for a loop there, guys. I didn't know if we were in the year 450 or 1945. It was pretty insane, but I'll tell you, as impressive as that intro was, with your guys staggering up the shore and cannonballs flying and, minarets exploding, that all looked pretty awesome. Then you get to the gameplay, and it just looked janky as fuck.
QuickTime events everywhere, pretty much.
Yeah. And I have a feeling that's really going to break the immersion. I mean, I didn't get to try it myself, so I don't know for sure, but it didn't look like anything that's really going to pull me in. Agreed.
And then there's that Battlefield. There was Battlefield where everyone jeered at them because the trailer didn't start at first. And then Dead Rising where everyone jeered because the trailer did start and no one liked it.
Yeah, those aren't good signs.
Dead Rising pisses me off. I have not extensively played either of the other ones, but I can recognize why those are unique among other zombie games. Because, you look at something like Zombie U and Left 4 Dead and, pick any other... Walking Dead Survival Instinct, any zombie game.
No, we don't talk about Walking Dead Survival Instinct.
Fair enough.
We don't go to Ravenholm, and we don't talk about Walking Dead Survival Instinct, okay?
Fair enough. But, or Dead Island, whatever. They all look very similar visually.
Right.
They're all like zombie games. The thing about Dead Rising was it was kind of campy, it was very humorous, and that allowed them to get a lot more creative with it. And that's what made it unique among all the other zombie games.
Yeah, if you want to, wear a fucking bonnet and ride a tricycle with chainsaws tied to it, you can. That's something. And that's something important, I think.
Yeah, exactly. It was unique. It takes an existing thing and makes it unique, which is more than most other zombie games do.
Right.
And then there's this piece of crap, which there's a guy with a 5 o'clock shadow going around killing zombies. He's got a dark past, and oh, God. I shoot me in the head. Don't let me become one of them. And by one of them, I don't mean a zombie. I mean one of the people who wants this game.
I just want to let our listeners know that, believe it or not, Jay did enjoy this E3.
I did. We're just going through the crap first.
Also known as Microsoft.
Exactly. Yes. And a little bit Ubisoft, mostly Microsoft. But yeah, so... that covers most of Microsoft, honestly, in terms of actual games. One thing I want to say, and this is just going to be Jay's little soapbox for 1 second. During the Killer Instinct showing, there was some stuff that has kind of blown up on the internet since then, especially on Twitter. During that section, I believe it was one of the creators of the original Killer Instinct came out to play around with a woman who's on stage playing this guy, and he was beating her in this round. And he said the phrase, "Just let it happen, it'll be over soon." Now, for those of you who haven't put two and two together, that is a phrase that, at least in American culture, is very commonly, universally associated with rape. He made a rape joke on stage, is what I'm getting at here. And I don't want to make this be, the super serious show and talk about this in depth, I just want to say there are people on Twitter who, since this happened, have been trying to defend this guy and saying, oh, well, you can't prove it was a rape joke. But in my opinion, he just said something that went too far. There is no opinion in this.
Truth be told, he's probably said the same thing to some of his bras, messing around with it as well. It might be a force of, Neanderthal habit. I don't know. But it's definitely distasteful.
That doesn't make it any more valid to say on stage in front of millions. And like I got this was weird. I got people tweeting at me about this who don't even follow me. I don't know how they found me or why they chose to talk to me about this. But basically, so many people were saying, "Oh, it's opinion. Oh, it's this and that." It's not really opinion. It's
That's not opinion. That's just douchebaggery.
I see no opinion. I see fact. And if you want to find that funny, I don't think you're a very smart person for finding that funny. Personally, that's just me. But don't try to justify your own insecurities about finding it funny to me. Because, like, I don't know. I
just want to say, who makes such a huge fuss about one simple joke which he didn't even want to make?
No, I don't think we're being overly serious. I mean, look at Torsogate, where we stood on that. I think everyone can agree that no one really was bothered by that on this podcast.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's different when you actually speak in that kind of way to a woman on stage. I mean, it would have been the same thing if she had said that to him, too. It's just, there's a time and a place to be a jackass, and right there wasn't it, and it's never right.
Yeah, and also there's a sliding scale here. I feel like, slightly distasteful woman in a bikini with large breasts is pretty much farther down on the scale of offensiveness than a blatant rape joke on stage in front of hundreds on a thing being broadcast to millions.
Right, the largest gaming expo of the year,
But still, it's only a joke. He didn't do anything.
That's still a step too far in that situation. And usually, I'm one of the first people to, say when people are up in arms over nothing. Again, with Torsogate, I found it ridiculous that so many people were just out to boycott the company after that. I mean, but again, there's a difference between humor and just being, again, a crude douchebag for the sake of being so. And that was just unnecessary.
I completely agree. Like, there are a lot of times on the internet where people jump to conclusions about things. And, social justice bloggers on Tumblr, check your privilege, da-da-da-da. It's everywhere. But this is, like, even my own personal opinion on whether or not this was okay to say aside, it's just, the amount of people you're broadcasting this to, there will be a lot of people who are offended by this. Just because different people are offended by different things. Different people have different triggers. And I don't think it's unreasonable to say that the offensive rape joke trigger is a trigger you don't want to hit. Like, I don't know.
No, it's common fucking sense, and this guy obviously didn't have it.
But I just want to say, it's not like it was in the speech or something. He just said it because he thought it felt right.
Yeah, but even as an off-the-cuff remark, it's just completely stupid.
Yeah, even if he thought it felt right, he's still thinking it felt right to make a rape joke. I don't want to talk about this for another 15 minutes because I've been talking about it with people all week.
Well, we could save that topic for a whole new podcast as it is, really. I mean,
and I'd like to at some point, but this is not.
What are we going to call this podcast? Pro or contra rape joke? You decide.
Oh my god. I think we may pass on that. I might put it in the description. We'll see. So anything else we want to talk about in terms of Xbox? New Halo was shown briefly. Master Chief wearing a tunic, which was hilarious because he's in full armor.
Fucking armor. What's the point? Is he hiding? Is he ashamed of who he is? Does he take a lot of shit for being green? I don't know.
No,
we should all judge him by the content of his character, not the color of his armor.
It's his fans. They are following everywhere.
That's the new enemy in Halo 5 is the fans. It's a bunch of Master Chief cosplayers.
I have to say, I knew that a Halo reveal was coming. I think everybody did. But I don't think anyone expected him to take the Moses approach for the reveal, wandering through the desert in his tattered robes, and then fucking mech. Okay?
That thing was cool, okay?
Oh, it was cool as shit, bursting out of the sand like an armored Sarlacc pit, but wow. I'll tell you what, when you want to show off imaginative environments in your new game, usually a sparse desert isn't really the way to go. I have to say the trailer didn't make me especially enthusiastic for the new Halo, But I'd like to see where they're going, aside from to a new Halo in the sand.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? It wasn't a full trailer trying to show like what the new game was going to be. It was just showing, hey, we're making a new Halo game. Here's 10 seconds of it.
Right.
It just was like, hey, we are Microsoft. There's still hope.
Hey, we're Microsoft. Guess what games we're famous for?
Guys, we don't want to turn this into the completely eviscerating Microsoft episode. I don't think they're fully at that point
yet.
Well,
we are going to get into that once we start talking.
They pulled the trigger themselves. We don't need to sit there and, grind it into glue.
That's true, actually. But anyone else want to say anything about Microsoft? Andrew, you've been quiet.
No, there wasn't really anything besides Spark that I really cared for. I mean, yeah, Halo, but meh.
That's pretty much Microsoft in general. $500 price point.
Yep,
and Andrew couldn't stop laughing, I remember.
Oh, it's hysterical.
I don't think we could do justice to Microsoft's presentation without, mentioning the fact that they did try to clear up some of the DRM concerns.
Did they?
Yeah, well, they had announced that you will be able to share your games with other people in your household. That is not locked out. In fact, they're extending it to 10 friends. Now, they don't really give a fuck if they're your friends or not, but any 10 people on your friends list, well, up to 10 people on your friends list, rather, can be added to this friends group, and you can loan your games to them. They haven't confirmed if you can both play from your library at the same time when this happens, but they can access your library remotely if you give them access to the game. That's a cool concept. I don't think that's going to dispel a lot of the concerns and the overlying issues with DRM in general, and the fact that it seems that you are just buying the license to your game, not the game itself. But I do think that's one kind of cool feature in the whole scheme of things.
Something like this shouldn't even be considered a feature.
That's the thing, and I think it's funny, too, that they had announced shortly after the reveal last month when they had said that loaning games will not be a feature accessible on day one. Now, since when is fucking loaning something you buy with your money a feature? When we start allowing companies to have us redefine ownership of the things we spend our hard-earned dollars on, I think there's a real problem, and I think that's a big part of the issue as to why a lot of people are so tepid with their response to the Xbox One.
Yeah.
The same with Sony. Everybody was cheering because they said at the end of the press conference,
we'll get to that
it's a normal console.
Oh, we'll get to that. We'll get to that due course. Well, I have a lot to say about that. But in terms of Xbox, yeah, it seems like that's about it. Yeah, so after that, there was EA. We got Mirror's Edge 2, which that's pretty cool. And
yay!
Hell yeah. And Battlefront...
They have a few Oculus Rifts in DICE Labs just before they announced it, so who knows? Maybe Mirror's Edge 2 VR?
Probably. I mean, the first one was, right?
That would actually be a pretty cool candidate.
Yeah, the first one's on there, right?
Well, yeah, with mods.
Yeah, that's going to be on there probably, though. And we got Battlefront 3 announcement, which I wasn't expecting. I mean, EA bought the rights to make Star Wars games about 3 weeks ago, and we already get Battlefront 3 announced, which I'm super pumped for that.
Yeah, the corpse is still warm. That's surprising.
Yeah, I mean, who knows if it'll be any good, but, EA has good studios. The worst we can... I figure the worst we'll get is it's developed by DICE, and it'll feel a little bit too much like Battlefield. Even then, it's going to be a new Battlefront game. I'll still be excited for it, personally.
Yeah, I mean, and hey, with the sequel, Biggs and Wedge might have updated stats, so that'd be pretty rad. That's probably all they'll change for the sequel, but fuck it.
But yeah, that was that. Ubisoft, they had that comedian lady hosting the event, and she was the worst comedian I've heard in a long time.
Yeah, Ubisoft's presentation had a lot of problems, but we'll get to those.
Yeah, I didn't really like it. It was kind of just meh. I just honestly don't have a lot of great stuff to say about it. Yeah, they showed Rayman. That still looks good. It was supposed to come out months ago. They showed The Crew, which is kind of an interesting racing game. It looks more interesting than most racing games, and that's kind of like an open world car game.
Watch Dogs does look phenomenal. I do want to say that.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, I could gush about that for hours. If I do get a PS4 on day one, that's going to be one of my main selling points, honestly.
Did you guys? I don't want to distract too much from it, but did you guys happen to see the Sizzler reel that Nintendo had put out for the Nintendo Direct, and they had featured some Wii U footage of Watch Dogs? Did you guys happen to notice the way that game looked?
I didn't really notice the changes.
Oh, man, the graphics took a hit. Yeah. Fog, Turok style, covering up those blemishes. It did not look very good.
Oh, Nintendo. We'll get to Nintendo.
We'll get to Nintendo.
I don't want to get to Nintendo.
We have to get to Nintendo, but we'll get through it together.
I actually like
get through it together.
I didn't hate Nintendo, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Ubisoft. Who else? What else even happened at Ubisoft, guys?
The Assassin's Creed 4 demo locking up repeatedly.
That was great.
Until it eventually just crashed.
I loved that so much.
Now, truth be told, we don't know if that was actually running on a PC, a dev unit, or an actual PS4 console. So we'll give them that. But Ubisoft, get your shit together.
That moment was the culmination, like the karmic culmination of my hatred of Assassin's Creed 3 coming into full effect.
Did you see the look in the man's eyes who was demoing the game when his heart just shattered and he looked like a deer in the headlights? I felt so much sympathy for the guy. I really did. I
started cracking up. It was amazing. Oh, man. And nothing before that even looked that interesting. Like, you're kind of just walking around this island. I mean, to be fair, it could be good, but like I said before, I will not be picking that up until I've heard a great deal of opinion about it and decide whether or not I want to get it, because 3 burned me.
I don't know. It was cool seeing, just how, I know that the game's known for having, very bustling environs and, going through the pirate shantytown and all that, the encampment. I gotta say, it was very lively. I liked how high resolution the graphics are. When a guy's standing there playing cards with, his mates, you can see every last individual card almost down to what he actually has in his hand. The details were nice. It was very intricately detailed. And, after he goes about his assassination and our hero dives off the cliff and into the ship, all the cannon air firing and the explosions and manning the ship, that was pretty cool. That got me pumped. And I didn't really care for the series, in all honesty. Yeah. But that made me want to play it, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, for me it's just I want one that feels a lot more like 1 and 2. Like with the pacing of 2 and the gameplay of kind of 2 and 1. I still say, and a lot of people also say this, Assassin's Creed set in feudal Japan. Let's do this, please.
I can't hear you over all the blood rushing to my penis right now.
I know. Oh my god. But interesting note, that's coming to Wii U too, Assassin's Creed 4, and the Wii U version of that looks exactly the same as the other versions from what I could tell. So,
no, keep going.
No, I was going to say, so that could just be indicative of how much more quality there is in Watch Dogs visually, but that's just an interesting note.
Yeah, well, it's also, bear in mind that this is being, Watchdog kind of canceled this out, but the fact that it is being developed for current consoles as well as next gen. So I think that until we start seeing games that actually are exclusive for the next gen systems, we're going to be seeing a lot of this.
That's true. Oh, going back to Xbox, I forgot about this. They actually announced that Gold members starting next month will actually be getting basically what the PlayStation Plus service is, where every month they'll be getting a couple free games.
Just older games that everyone can buy for 20 cents.
That's pretty much what it's all about with, PS Plus. But the thing is, don't you think they're offering this a little late? We're looking down the barrel at 5 months before we're looking at our new consoles.
Did you see what they're offering?
It's Halo 3 and Assassin's Creed 2 for the first month.
Hey, I've only had Halo 3 for, 6 years, guys?
Yeah,
I could...
Yeah, only.
And I bought it. I bought Halo 3 at a pawn shop for a whole $4. I'm taking that value of the free game. No, but that'll be cool. Assassin's Creed 2, I never actually finished before, so that'll be cool to go and play that again.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that could be cool to do that. Like, they did a thing where they had 6 months of Xbox Live for $25. I bought that. So now I'm kind of glad I did that, so at least maybe I'll be getting some nice stuff I didn't get to play before. But no, so on to Sony, I suppose, unless we had anything more we want to say about Ubisoft.
No, we kind of ventured into Sony a little bit with the Assassin's Creed, so we'll just keep going from there.
Yeah, so, Sony, where do we begin?
Destiny, please?
Destiny, okay, we can start with Destiny. Destiny
How about
go ahead.
the actual box, which they finally showed?
Yeah.
It is good to actually know what the console looks like. And guys, I think it looks a little anemic. What do you guys think?
I like it.
It's fine. Like it looks like someone took two PS2s, slapped them together, melted them down, and poured them into a slanted mold, basically.
I've always felt the PS2 looks like the most utilitarian system ever. I mean, it's not a pretty beast by any means. It looks kind of rugged, kind of thrown together. Hey, use me. I play fucking games. I'm not a decoration. And that's cool and all. Did you guys see the size of it? This thing is tiny.
Yeah, it's about the size of the Wii U, isn't it, I think?
Yeah. Roughly, yeah.
That's pretty neat. Yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. It's got kind of like a black eraser look to it. And man, all the consoles this generation look really similar, because we got the Wii U and the Xbox One, and now this. They're all just black boxes.
I do think the PlayStation 4 gets the distinction of being the first system that is a rhombus, so we can give Sony credit for that.
That's true, actually, yeah. But yeah, so Destiny was shown. I was really excited to see Destiny just because I just from the visual design, like the character designs and stuff we've seen before, I wanted to see what it looked like. It basically looks like Halo meets Borderlands, and I like both of those things, so that hopefully that'll be cool.
Yeah, it almost looks like both of those things to a fault, though, I do feel. I mean, no, don't get me wrong, I'm not just ragging on the game to rag on it, because really I don't intend to rag on it whatsoever. But it does look like they're pretty much lifting the whole gameplay mechanic from Borderlands. You saw how loot-centric the whole demo seemed to be.
Yeah.
Even some of the environs look very similar to some areas that I remember from Borderlands, too. But you know what? Look at how popular those games are. I really can't blame Bungie for going in that direction. The fact that you can travel from world to world, I think it's going to add some scope and scale to the game, even if you are essentially just jumping from level to level. I'm all for more immersion in games, and if you're trying to make it like a broad galaxy, we're going around wrecking shop and blasting the bejesus out of our enemies. Rad. I'm all for it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's. One of the reasons I'm most interested in it is because of the supposed scope of it, right? Is it, like, they've said they're trying to make this more than just a level per planet or whatever. Like, each planet is its own thing, and I'm just really excited to see the grand scope of it, especially since they're saying it's supposed to be like a 10-year-long project. It's going to be this enormous campaign. So I'm very interested to see what they do with it. I can see what you mean, though, about it kind of being derivative from Borderlands and stuff, but that could be cool. Who knows?
Yeah, I love Borderlands to death. I mean, and I do think that, and this is, I don't want to trail on too much about it, but the fact that the enemies seem to react a lot better. It seemed like your weapons had more heft. You notice in Borderlands, it is still first and foremost an RPG, and every bit of damage you're dealing is all statistical. An enemy stands still until they fall and die. They're not really reacting to your gunshots. I think that your weapons, at least from what they showed during the Destiny demo, had some heft and weight to them. We saw enemies stagger, recoil. It looks like it has that visceral feel that the Borderlands games do lack. And then on that note, I am excited. I think it's carried that over from Halo. I think that Bungie mastered it, and I think the game's going to rock, guys.
That's true. So, let's see. They announced more than 140 games are currently in development for the system. That's a big number. That's pretty amazing. We got to see a lot of indie stuff, which a few of them looked cool. They talked about Transistor, which got my boner out on the table. I don't know about the rest of you guys. It's a 2014 game, but I'm still calling it my most anticipated game of 2013 because I'm going to be spending all of 2013 anticipating it. So it counts. And they announced no used game restrictions, obviously. That was the kind of the big thing was when they basically began trash-talking Microsoft without actually trash-talking Microsoft.
They went for the jugular.
Oh, yeah. They were told. They were stone told Steve Austin. Oh, my God.
No DRM, region free, and then they went for the jugular with $100 less than the Xbox One with a $399 price tag. We didn't have to deal with massive damage or giant enemy crabs or Ridge Racer. No, they went for the cold hard facts, and they delivered a 1-2 punch to Microsoft and really just knocked it out of the park.
They completely did. It was like watching an uprising begin. It was like watching a revolutionary on stage, like, leading a revolution against against a tyrannical government. It was amazing.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
Now,
man.
I do want to say, and I think it's important to note that, at least from the direction this podcast has taken and our enthusiasm that I think is palpable here when we're talking about the PlayStation 4, the fact that none of us were completely anti-Microsoft, aside from Marius, before this conference.
Yeah, I would even go as far as to say I was honestly impressed with some of the stuff they showed at Microsoft's conference overall, even if it doesn't sound that way.
Essentially, my PlayStation 3 has been my exclusives box this generation. So, to jump from how rabid I am about seeing the PS4, it's a big thing.
You said it sounded like a revolution starting, but what kind of revolution is if a company says things stay the same, we don't do what the other people do?
Well, no, I'm not talking about in terms of what they're actually saying. I'm just talking about in terms of the atmosphere on stage and in that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy how all the gamers are reacting because nothing changed, literally.
Well, you're
Region
right.
free, no DRM, it's the same.
But it's the point that I think a lot of gamers across the board, at least with Microsoft's announcement, felt that the way they play their games, that whole very concept of ownership was at risk, and they get affirmation from Sony that they don't have to worry about that across the board this generation, at least from the way I look at it, was a very big thing. It was saying that I'm not just buying the license to my games, I'm buying my games. If I want a friend to borrow the game, I fucking hand it to him. Those are huge, tremendous things, and they don't just affect the video game industry, they are going to affect the way that we consume media, for the foreseeable future. So to think that we have probably at least 8 years out of this shiny black box come this fall, that's 8 more years where I can actually have some peace of mind that what I buy is actually mine and not no longer an object that I own when the plug on those servers gets pulled. That's tremendous, and I can totally understand. I ripped off my bra and burned it during that speech, and I goddamn hope you did too.
Damn right. And Marius, what you're saying, like, I get what you're saying about it being people sort of cheering for, in a way it's like people cheering for things staying the same. We can argue about that all day, but I think what it comes down to is it's people cheering for the lack of severely negative change that people have been saying is severely negative since like a month before the Xbox One was even announced. It's basically the culmination of, and because with all these rumors about the Xbox One, there was a lot of question about what kinds of bad things would be coming with the PS4 too. And it was basically putting everyone's minds at ease. And I think that's what mattered in that conference, was putting people's minds to ease that the PlayStation 4 isn't going to do the negative things that people don't like about the Xbox One, and they did that.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay, so, Final Fantasy
Andrew, does
happened. Oh, sorry. Andrew.
So I think we're missing the most important announcement there was, guys.
Yeah, for you.
The most important thing ever.
Oh my god.
Kingdom Hearts 3, motherfucker!
He's gushing. We're not even in the same state, and I'm wet right now. Not like that.
So let me paint a picture here. Andrew and I were both at my house for the Sony conference. We were watching it, ironically, on my Xbox 360, on my TV, through the IGN app. And we were watching it, and when the Kingdom Hearts thing begins, Andrew stands up, sets his laptop down. He's shaking. He falls down on his knees. He starts to cry.
Did he shed one dramatic single tear down his cheek?
I swear I saw one, yeah.
Okay.
And then they start showing the new gameplay. He collapses face first on the ground. It was amazing. I wish I had filmed it. If I had been quicker acting, I would have filmed it. It was beautiful.
Oh my god. You can't say we at Hey Poor Player aren't passionate.
Yeah,
this is me. They're showing the Final Fantasy Versus 13, which became Final Fantasy 15 trailer, and that looks beautiful, by the way. I am very anticipating that. But after Nomura's like, hey, we got one more trailer for you guys, and I'm like, don't you fucking dare, Square. And it's like, Disney, and I'm just like, don't you fucking dare. And then, like, it's showing the games, like, oh, you know what, it's probably just a trailer for, the HD re-release. But then it's showing all of the games, I'm like, don't you fucking dare, Square. and and then Sora flies through, and he turns HD, and he walks up to Master Rakus's Keyblade, and I just collapsed on my knees.
You
Don't you
did.
fucking dare, Square.
He was saying that too the whole time.
And it's like Kingdom Hearts 3, and oh my god, I still can't believe that happened. I'm pretty sure that it's a dream, that it didn't actually happen, and Kingdom Hearts 3 isn't actually coming out.
I'm pretty sure we could see your tears in the text of the write-up you did immediately after that was revealed.
Oh my god, I've been waiting.
I was really surprised you had the clarity to type after like the state you were in right then. It was amazing. Oh man.
I thought that his mom got hit by a car when he messages me, Frank, you need to know this. I'm like, oh my god.
What happened? Did you have cancer? Like, what's going on? Yeah, no.
And then we found out it was so much worse. Another Kingdom Hearts game.
But it's not just another Kingdom Hearts game, it's Kingdom Hearts 3.
Why?
Kingdom Hearts 3, the 58th game in the series.
It's got Assassin's Creed syndrome.
It's finally here. Yeah, but at least they don't come out with a new Kingdom Hearts every year.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, and it's not like they haven't been, like, I have the first Kingdom Hearts, and I honestly didn't like it at all when I played of it, but I recognize them as good games. They're just one of those series that seems kind of inaccessible because of the fan base.
I wouldn't call it a case of sequelitis so much that they're kind of stuck in the Street Fighter syndrome where we're gonna have Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting, Super Street Fighter Champions Edition. Like, come on, just make fucking Street Fighter 3.
Yeah.
It's great. And I'm looking forward to 15 different, Kingdom Hearts games before Kingdom Hearts 4.
And I'm looking forward to hearing from Andrew whether there's the World Ends With You characters in this one again. Because that happened in the 3DS one, and that was the only reason I thought about getting the 3DS one. Well, I'm never getting a World Ends With You sequel, so I might as well get this series I don't like.
You could ask if there's going to be Star Wars characters.
Wow, oh, God.
No.
Oh,
no.
I think that's a given.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I'm bleeding and I don't even know where it came from.
I don't want to know where it came from.
I'm physically wounded and I
Did
don't
you
know.
take an arrow to the knee?
I might have taken an arrow to the heart. Oh God.
But,
I don't
guys,
want that.
Shot through the heart.
but just guys, Kingdom Hearts 3. Like, even though Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out for both the PS4 and the Xbox One, that finally just put the nail in the coffin. Like, I'm fucking getting PS4.
Yeah.
And then yesterday I decided, gonna get it launched, pre-ordered it this morning. Don't regret it at all.
Nice. Yeah, going to another Square thing, Final Fantasy 15. That looks rad. Like, I haven't played a lot of Final Fantasy games. I enjoy the older ones. 13 soured me just like it soured everyone else. And I kept hearing stuff about 13 verses and all, and I was kind of like, whatever, this just kind of is a thing. They showed that trailer for Final Fantasy 15 as it now is, what was Final Fantasy verses. When I do get a PS4, it's gonna be for that. That looks incredibly fun. That looks really epic, and looking at a list, does anyone else have anything to say about Final Fantasy 15 while I try and find other things?
I'm finally glad that we're hearing something about it for the first time in approximately 2 years. The game's been in development for 7 or 8, and finally something about it. And I love the way it looks. It's damn beautiful. Ezio's hiding in there somewhere, by the way. If you watch the trailer, he's near the end. But it looks damn beautiful. Yeah, there's a hooded guy in the end of the trailer.
Yeah, I remember that,
It looks fun. Like, I'm a really big fan of the way that the fighting works, how it's not like past Final Fantasies where you go into a whole separate screen to fight. It's all, live action, kind of like Kingdom Hearts is.
It's actual, real-time combat, yeah.
Yeah, it's real-time. I'm a big fan of that because I feel like I can get into it a lot more.
That's kind of my thought. Is I enjoy a good RPG, but I occasionally enjoy a good RPG. It's something I have to be in the mood for, and it's only once in a while that I'm in the mood for, especially with me having been playing Xenoblade Chronicles consistently for the last year. I'm good on RPGs for a while, and so this looks like something something cool. How about that Quantic Dream thing, Dark Sorcerer, the tech demo or whatever?
Wow. Yeah, I don't really think that we're going to see that level of detail in games right off the bat. That looks a little too good to be true, but wow, does that look good.
Yeah, it definitely does. Yeah. It was really strange. If that is a game, I don't know what that game's going to be, because he's going around doing witchcraft and then green screen comes up.
It just looks like a gorgeous tech demo.
Yeah, pretty much. I loved that the wizard there was the old man whose face they showed at the original PS4 reveal conference.
Right, absolutely.
That was great. That was great. No one saw that coming. I feel like maybe someone called that, but almost no one did. What else big happened with the PS4? I feel like a lot of stuff happened at the PS4, but if we talk about it all, we're going to be here for like 3 hours.
What did you guys think of, Murdered? Do you guys recall that? Soul Sacrifice?
Did they show that at the conference?
They showed it in the pre-3 trailers.
I didn't get to see that. I believe you talked about it last time briefly. It sounded interesting. Walking Dead 400 Days, Season 2 of The Walking Dead got announced. Not to cut you off about that, but...
No, you're fine.
I just want to say I'm really excited for that because Walking Dead Season 1 was a masterpiece. Oh my god,
yeah.
You Americans and your TV, go to Microsoft.
No, not Walking Dead TV show, Walking Dead game. We're on a gaming podcast. There have been multiple Walking Dead games.
That's why... I thought that's the reason why you said, sorry, I have to break this up. Because there's topic change.
Right,
the Walking Dead show is crap. But yeah, that happened. Oh, this saddened me very greatly. The Last Guardian, which is the new game by the people who made Shadow of the Colossus and Ico.
Can we even call it a new game anymore at this point?
No, especially because it is in active development, but Trenton has confirmed that it's on indefinite hiatus. Oh, this makes me sad, guys. Shadow of the Colossus is one of my favorite games of all time.
Did you cry at the end? Did you feel bad for what you did to those giants?
I felt bad. I don't know if I cried. I don't know if I've ever cried in a video game. No, I have at one, but that wasn't it. But yeah, that was a heart-wrenching game and just one of the most perfectly composed experiences I've played in a game ever, probably. And knowing that the next successor to it is indefinitely, like, suspended is basically how Andrew felt for 8 years waiting for Kingdom Hearts 3. Like, it's the same. It just hurts, man. Oh, it hurts bad.
And you gotta wonder, with the time and resources they've pumped into this, though, I don't think they've been going full steam by any stretch of the imagination. I'm sure it's been in, limbo for quite a few years at this point. But I'm sure that it's bled enough money that they're going to have to look really long and hard before thinking about putting out another game in that line. Period.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, it's not like the hype's died down. Like every E3, people are still going, Last Guardian, let's see it this year, please. And it's a lot of people who still want that game because it still looks great. Like oh man. And
that's what a lot of investors do too.
Yeah, and I'm calling it either that kid or that griffin or both of them are going to die by the end.
Oh, yeah, without factors.
No. The ending is they're both kill some giant or something, gets back, and the griffin eats the kid on accident.
Fantastic.
Honestly, it would be a bigger twist if they both lived at this point. But yeah, PS4 Gaikai stuff, it's going to have most of the PS3 library and PS2 and PS1 stuff. That's cool. Because it's not backwards compatible, but that way people like me who didn't have a PS3 can still get to play a lot of PS3 stuff. So that's cool that Gaikai is doing that, and hopefully that'll be as big a library and be continually updated as well as they're hoping it'll be.
I think it's also exciting to say that much of the PS3 library, they're saying, is going to be playable on the Vita.
That's cool. I've been considering getting a Vita for a while, and that's pushing. Like, when I get a PS4, if I don't have a Vita by the time I get a PS4, I'm getting a Vita then.
I do want to say before we trail off to Nintendo, on the subject of the Vita, there were a couple of pretty impressive games shown. Did you guys check out Killzone Mercenaries at all?
A little bit. They looked interesting. I'm not really a Killzone guy personally. That looks pretty cool.
The graphical fidelity is fantastic. I can't think of another handheld game that looks nearly as good. So that in and of itself is pretty rad. The fact that they're pretty much saying that the whole story is going to be about, the acquisition of wealth. You're a mercenary and that's it. You're fighting for the dollar. I kind of feel like that's an excuse to make a Killzone game entirely without narrative. And on that note, with the story of Killzone 3 that was actually really impressive, that is kind of disappointing. I'm not going to act like I know everything, but it's a pretty fair assumption to say we're not going to see any dramatic plot twists there.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they show a little bit of Vita stuff. It does look cool. I plan on getting one eventually. It's kind of just one of those things I keep saying I'm going to do and then don't. But
it can wait at this point, I think.
Yeah, it can. Because I want to play Gravity Rush, and then I want to play a bunch of ports.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that about covers it for the PlayStation. Anyone have any final thoughts on the PS4?
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, there's that.
I'm excited. That's it.
All right, that about encompasses it. Yeah. So on to Nintendo. Oh, Nintendo. It was a bittersweet Nintendo conference for me, or Nintendo Direct for me, because I went into this just saying all I want, Nintendo. All I want is for you to make me stop regretting having bought a Wii U at launch, because I honestly have been since Rayman Legends got delayed until the fall. I wasn't particularly impressed by anything else on it, and it's just been a dry well. And they did succeed in making me not regret it. Like, I'll be perfectly honest, if I didn't already have one, I would be buying one for Wind Waker HD, because Wind Waker is one of my favorite games. And besides that, Smash Brothers, there's a lot of cool stuff about it. I think they did sell it to me and make me convinced that I made the right decision in buying a Wii U, but they didn't really go above and beyond, I don't think.
So I want to say something about the Wind Waker game. Wind Waker is actually the second favorite Zelda game of mine, and I looked at the trailer, and I didn't know it was actually view footage until I saw the buttons at the top right. I was thinking, they first show the old game, just so they can show how better the new one looks. And it actually was the new one the entire time.
That's fair, because I said the same thing to Andrew this morning, actually. Or Jay this morning, rather.
Really? Because, honestly, I feel like that's got to be either your computer monitors or you guys just having fuzzy recollections of the original game, because they kind of changed the whole style of it a little bit. It's still cel-shaded, but it's cel-shaded kind of more similarly to, like, Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks, where it looks more 3D. Like, everything's very curved and sort of shine modeled out.
I could see that with the grass. I mean, and the new shaders were noticeable. I just don't think it felt like a full overhaul.
Yeah, but the sea doesn't look any better.
Yeah, it doesn't need to, though. It was a minimalist thing, and that worked. I feel like, I don't know, the minimalism of it was part of what I loved about it. It managed to do so much with such a simple art style. But so some disappointing announcements since then. There were two dungeons in Wind Waker that never got put in the final game originally. That were, people speculate, were originally, instead of getting the 8 Triforce pieces, you were going to get 2 pieces from these 2 different temples. And people were hoping those would get put in the new games, but it's been confirmed that isn't happening. But they've said they are adding to some of the islands and adding to the world a little bit more, which is going to be cool to see.
The creators that he's reconstructing the Triforce quest.
Oh, that's true, yes.
Thank fucking God. That was where I stopped.
That actually was favorite part of the game.
That says a lot about you.
That's
as a human being.
That's my least favorite part of the game, but I still enjoyed it. Like, it was fine. It was kind of just a thing. That was the most mellow part of the game for me, though. But yeah, so Mario games, huh? We got new Super Mario 3D World, which is like the 3DS one, which was kind of disappointing, but it looks cool, and me and Andrew got to go play that yesterday at Best Buy. That's gonna be pretty cool. It's stylized very much after Super Mario 3D Land on the 3DS, which I didn't get to play personally. But I heard good things about that, and this one looks pretty cool. It's got 4-player co-op, which when me and Andrew got to play it yesterday, it seemed like this game fits 4-player a lot better than any of the new Super Mario Brothers games. What do you think about that, Andrew?
I definitely agree. I like how, there's multiple ways to go through the level, and it doesn't have to focus around the cooperative part of the game. You can just play and have fun with other people without getting in the way, kind of like the new Super Mario Bros. Games.
Yeah, it's less cooperative multiplayer and more kind of just a mutual experience, I would say, and that's cool to me. Like, I like that. You're just having this adventure together. Each one has their own individual powers. Like, Luigi can jump higher, Toad's faster. Peach is in it again, which is cool, and she can, like, float, sort of. I don't know what Mario does, because neither of us tried Mario.
Mario is normal.
So Mario doesn't
They're
have
taking the whole template from Mario Brothers 2, essentially.
Yeah, Doki Doki Panic.
Yeah.
Yeah, Doki Doki Panic. But now one thing I wanted to ask is, I take it goes without saying that each character is going to have environments that are only accessible with their abilities on the maps. Did you notice that at all when you played?
I didn't notice that at all.
Well, I mean, there kind of were. It's interesting how they did it, where there are a lot of points. There were different ways you could go that multiple characters could go, but you would have to sort of do it differently depending on what character you did it or what power-ups you had. Like the cat suit made it a lot easier to access paths you couldn't otherwise do. So that was cool. The cat suit's pretty cool, actually. I really liked that a lot more than I thought I would. But no, I mean, it was cool. I personally prefer my 3D Mario games being like Galaxy, where it's more fully realized. But it's still gonna be a good game. I enjoyed it. I think I'll probably pick it up at some point. So yeah, Mario Kart 8 got shown. That looks exactly like Mario Kart 7, but with more clever level design, and so that's cool, I guess. I feel like there's nothing to say about Mario Kart, really, except that I'm sure it'll be good, because there haven't really been any bad Mario Kart games.
I can't remember the trailer especially well. Did they confirm Sonic's going to be in it? I'd imagine so.
No. That would be a pretty big thing if they did.
I mean, Sega and Nintendo did cozy up last week with the announcement of Lost Worlds, which we do have to talk about.
Right, you're thinking of Super Smash Bros., not Mario Kart.
Sonic is the fastest thing alive. He doesn't need a car.
Well, he has one in some of the Sonic racing games. But,
Sonic R?
Because he's trying to be fair to the other people. That's why he's using a car.
But Mario Kart 8 basically has anti-gravity sections where basically, like, the track will slope up and upside down and stuff, and there's different routes that'll like go along the walls and go upside down and stuff, and that looks pretty cool. Like, you're basically the wheels on your car turn into like little hover things.
And the hang glider's back.
Is it? Yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah, that looks like it's gonna be cool. New Donkey Kong game. Oh, you should have seen my face. I was so disappointed. New retro game, and it's another Donkey Kong side scroller. Oh, Metroid, where are you? Now, interesting, they did say afterwards that it was very hard for them to choose between Donkey Kong and Metroid, which to me speaks maybe they're hinting at a future Metroid game coming out, which is probably just my inner fanboy screaming in this dry desert that it's been rolling around in for like 4 years. But that'd be cool. Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, it looks okay. It's another side-scrolling Donkey Kong game, which is not what the system needs right now by any stretch of the imagination. If it was a 3D Donkey Kong game in the style of the original Donkey Kong Country, or, like, in the style of old Rareware games, kind of, that would be great, and I think that would really help the system. This, I don't think, is going to quite as much. I don't know about you guys.
If they would have just released it for the 3DS, it would have been way better because of the planes the game is set.
I don't know about that, only because the 3DS has a good library, and I'm just talking about in terms of what the Wii U needs right now to sell better.
Well, they just say where the game does better fit because of how it's built.
I'm sure we'll see a port again like we did with the last one in like a year. Besides that... sorry, go ahead.
I don't know about that because the Wii is around the same strength as the 3DS in power. But the Wii U is full HD and has a way better graphics card as the 3DS. So I don't know how easy it is to port this game over.
I don't know. I think they can scale it down and make it work. It works with Monster Hunter. I don't think it can work with this. It wouldn't be that big a deal. I mean, the 3DS has very good quality. You say Wii quality. I would say better than the Wii quality by no big feat.
I do have to say that Resident Evil Revelations did look a good deal better than any Wii games I remember playing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that did, and Kid Icarus did, honestly. And even like Fire Emblem kind of does in some parts.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. So another thing that happened with Nintendo was the new Monolith Soft game, currently known only as X, which, because Xenoblade, Xenosaga, they like their Xeno words. That got a new trailer, and that looks like Xenoblade with Gundams. So color me boned. Man. I mean, a lot of people are speculating it's a Xenoblade sequel based on the first trailer we got a few months ago. That wouldn't be out of the question because there was a character in that who looked a lot like the guy from Xenoblade. Looked a lot like Shulk, but even if it's not, even if it's just a completely new thing, I am still really pumped for it just based on what we've seen so far. It just looks completely gorgeous, and oh man. It's making me kind of want to go back to play Xenoblade, and then I go back to play Xenoblade and realize I played 100 hours of Xenoblade and I'm kind of sick of Xenoblade. But I'm so excited to check that out, and I'll look at the rest of you guys.
Yeah, we already know my thoughts on Xenoblade. I mean, from the last couple episodes, gushing over it, and yeah, I don't know. It's definitely what it's pointing to be. And on that note, I'm grabbing my Monado in anticipation.
Heck yeah. Yeah, that looks like it's gonna be pretty cool. Big RPG. Like, I remember Xenoblade Chronicles. They were originally going to try and show at E3 more. Like, they had a trailer for E3 ready that year, but then they just decided they didn't want to release it in the U.S., and so they decided not to. And I think they're gonna try giving this the publicity treatment that they didn't give Xenoblade, because this is one of those games that, like, even like hardcore Xbox guys will see, oh, this has got big robots in it. I'll get a Wii U to play this thing, and
it would be hilarious if they don't release it in the US again.
No,
until some movie.
Not with a trailer at E3. I mean,
not with a trailer at E3, and just how surprisingly well Xenoblade did once it came to the US. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's just funny if that would happen.
Yeah, no,
it
would.
Going to happen.
I would kill someone, but it would be funny. Yeah, I would murder everyone.
As RP.
Yeah.
I do think that Nintendo desperately needs an RPG at this point.
Yeah,
so.
I hope they put as much publicity in this as they should. I think it will be, if enough people see it, it'll be more of a system seller than they're anticipating, I think.
Absolutely.
Bayonetta 2. Bayonetta 2 got shown, and Bayonetta's got a sexy short haircut now.
Yeah, what's up with the pixie cut? That was pretty rad, though.
I don't know what's up with it, but I'm digging it.
I mean, for a character who primarily fights with her hair, that was a pretty interesting thing.
Well, that was the interesting thing, is she's got the short hair, but you see she has, like, enormous locks of hair as, like, a cape now or something. It's weird, because, like, the hair is sort of her outfit. It's kind of weird how it works.
When bitch puts her weave in, you better run.
Damn right, we can weave. Yeah, I like how they did the classic thing they do with any like sequel of a game that has two main characters, where she's got the short hair now, and then Jean, who had short hair in the first one, she has long hair now.
Right.
But yeah, that's gonna be tremendous. Like, the trailer, what they showed, gameplay footage, looks like nothing but more great demon powered action. It looks like there's more attacks that have like the big Wicked Weave attacks in them now. It looks like it's more. It's definitely upped the ante in terms of just crazy over the top action even more, which is what I loved out of Bayonetta.
Did you guys see the fight on top of the jet in the middle of a city? That was awesome.
Hell yeah.
Or running up a skyscraper as a giant demon is punching it to bits while still fighting. Like, Platinum Games, I love you so. This is going to be phenomenal. And I think this is probably going to be the first really aggressive, hardcore game to hit the Wii U. And, fuck yeah. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, what I'm kind of hoping is they give it almost like a little more of an open world kind of treatment. Kind of like how, I would say kind of like how Assassin's Creed is, where you can sort of roam around things a little more. Because being able to run up walls and everything, you have so much potential for freedom of exploration in the first Bayonetta, but they don't use it at all. It's a very linear experience. If they made something more open, like, you know, Assassin's Creed, or I kind of liken it almost to Prototype on 360, how, like, in that game, you're in New York City and you just have superpowers. You can go anywhere, do anything, wreck anybody's shit. If they give you sort of like a home base in Bayonetta 2 like that, that would be amazing.
I do want to say that if we want Bayonetta 2 to sell well, because we'll want a Bayonetta 3, never mention Bayonetta in the same breath as Prototype, because I feel like we're tainting it.
That's true. No, okay, I can see that. I liked Prototype a little more than everyone else, but yeah, I can see that. Man, what even else was there? There was Wind Waker. There was, I don't know, guys. I'm kind of unsure on things.
I'm getting more excited about the Wonderful 101 more.
Yes, and that's another Platinum Games entry.
I'm getting more excited about that. I'm actually definitely thinking about picking up it at launch. I'm really excited for it. I like the concept a lot.
Superhero charged Pikmin.
Basically, I love the concept, how you can just make giant fucking weapons, you know.
You know, that was surprising, speaking of Pikmin, is that they didn't show any Pikmin stuff until after the Direct. Like, it was on the floor, but it wasn't at the actual Direct.
I think that we, definitely, before we close the Nintendo segment of the podcast, why the hell has nobody mentioned Smash Brothers? Like, what's going on? You guys feeling alright?
Alright.
Because the awesomeness just
It's like too big to know where to start, but I know where to start.
That is
Mega
what
Man!
she said, Mega Man, yes.
Yeah.
Mega Man.
And also the villager. And also
I also am wondering why Jay hasn't talked about Pokemon, even though he's obsessed with it.
Oh, yeah. Alright.
Oh, yeah, Pokemon has it.
We'll touch on that real quick, because that's only 2 seconds. They showed some more gameplay that looks pretty cool. They showed some new Pokemon, looks pretty cool. I'm still excited for X and Y. New fairy type confirmed, a new type which was needed in the competitive field, because it's kind of been unbalanced for the last 3 generations of games.
Dragons rule overall.
Yeah, dragons, and also hopefully the fairy type will give grass type Pokemon something to do, which is something they have not had in a long time, because no one uses rock types. But that's nerd Pokemon competitive talk. But yeah,
the best thing is, it's going to have every language and every version.
that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, and the best part is normally I would have to transfer all my Pokemon from my German white to my Japanese black, so I can trade them up. Now I just have to set it German, and then I can trade them directly up. It saves like 20 hours.
Yeah.
On trading.
Yeah, there's a lot of the connectivity stuff sounded pretty cool. Like it'll automatically import any friends on your 3DS friend list who have Pokemon and put them as friends on your Pokemon game, and you can sort of just check up on what they're doing in the game at any time. It's basically like what the Sea Gear from Black and White should have been. So that's gonna be pretty cool. Yeah, new Pokemon got shown. There's a cool butterfly that has like a pixel motif. There's a bunch of stuff. There's a cool Firebird. There's like a horse. There's like a seahorse thing. There's a bunch of stuff shown. That was pretty cool. But Smash Brothers, guys! Smash Brothers!
Smash Bros!
Yeah, that got derailed.
Yeah.
But, the fitness trainer. Come on, everyone wanted to play as the fitness trainer. Personally, I'm waiting for the fucking professor from Gyromite, or the dog from Duck Hunt. If we don't see them, I'm throwing in the towel. No more Smash Brothers.
When I saw the fitness trainer, I was like, oh, come on. But, like, I've grown to like the character. Like, I like how she uses yoga. I think she's a pretty unique character. I think it's...
no, Dol Zim's been doing that for 20-something years. Come on.
How about Deku Kid?
Yoga.
It's just such a funny idea, though. Oh, my God. I just love that they thought to do that. Like, they've talked about how they did it specifically to defy expectations.
Oh, absolutely.
Because Mega Man was the one everyone wanted, and that's awesome that Mega Man's in it. I'm super pumped. But that was just great.
Many people wanted Mega Man, but ever since the Villager was announced, they've blown up more about the Villager than Mega Man. It's hilarious.
I love all the love for the Villager. Like, there's fan art of the Villager just, like, smiling cheerily while holding a bloody axe, just with, like, a field of corpses behind him.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's pretty fantastic.
I love it.
Yeah, I love the Villager.
So does that about do it for Nintendo, guys?
I think it pretty much does. And, who won E3? Sony. I think we can all agree.
Yeah. Again, I think Nintendo did a much more admirable showing than I was expecting. Again, like, with the exception of Platinum Games, I think that, Nintendo, as expected, did carry their own conference. I think we're seeing a lot of first-party games that are really going to pull the weight of the system, and, that's Nintendo. We're used to that now. But really, Sony, with that 1-2 punch, they killed it. I know what I'm buying day one this fall.
Hell yeah.
Now, guys, let's get over what's our favorite game and what's our favorite console or hardware piece shown at E3.
PS4?
Yeah, PS4 favorite hardware.
And software?
Man,
Metal Gear Solid 5.
Same here.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts?
And best hardware for me, of course, Oculus Rift in HD.
Yeah.
You weren't going to be happy until you could talk about that tonight.
Yeah, I'm just too much of a fanboy.
Yeah, that's true. Man, best game for me, it's honestly hard to say. I'll say biggest surprise for me was honestly Final Fantasy 15. I knew nothing about Versus 13, and seeing it in its new form and stuff, I'm pretty pumped for that, honestly. And that's coming from someone who's not much of a Kingdom Hearts fan either. So yeah, I guess that and Destiny. Destiny still looks cool. I don't know.
Also, I know that we're about to close E3, but I do think that I don't want to go back into E3 so much as I want to acknowledge the fact that The Division does look awesome.
Ooh, I forgot about that. That does look interesting, at least. I'm going to reserve judgment myself, but...
Oh my god, controlling the drone with your tablet? Rah! It's going to be great. I can't fucking wait.
Mm-hmm.
Division.
Yeah, that does look pretty cool. I like, there were some games, I will admit, that made smart glass look cool. Because I like it in theory. It's a lot like the Wii U. It's cool in theory. It's just, I need to see games where it's done well. And that looks like it's going to be cool in Watch Dogs. It looks like it's going to use it really well.
Absolutely.
Oh, man. Well, that about wraps us up for E3 stuff. So, Frank, do you want to take us all the way into to the round table?
Absolutely. Alright, for the roundtable, we've put this off a couple podcasts here because unfortunately the cast has kind of gotten shuffled about. I want to go into firstly what I had tried. Now, it was, Jay, you had mentioned Mushishi, the anime, and I went through the first 3 or so episodes, and it was pretty awesome. I liked it.
Cool.
I don't know, what more to say than I like the fact that each story was its own little vignette, and it was all very, very abstract. I have to say that the stories are pretty bizarre, but I think that the main character is very endearing, and it's something I'm probably going to stick with. What is it, 20-something episodes, something like that?
Yeah, it's like 24, something like that.
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
Cool, yeah. The thing, in retrospect, it probably wasn't the most discussion-sparking thing for the roundtable, but it was just a cool thing I remembered having liked a lot. But it's just a cool series of little stories, and the bizarreness is very much an integral part of the anime, and that's what makes it so strong, I think.
Yeah, when the little boy has the little girl has the mushi living in her eyeballs, and
yeah,
they've consumed it. Like it was pretty twisted. But guy wanders around town and just solves people's crazy spirit problems. It's nice. I don't know. I recommend it. Check it out.
Yeah, I like that it does that without being like a legitimate horror aspect to it. Like, oh, these kind of creepy things happen, but it doesn't like put a shock value on them, really.
No, if nothing else, they just seem like a nuisance for the most part. Or I don't know. From the couple episodes, it's hard to get in any kind of overarching story. I don't know if there is one that really drives it.
Not really.
Okay, but no, I definitely like it, and I plan on jumping back into it.
Cool.
All right, how about you, Jay?
I went with Preacher. Motherfucking Preacher.
Yes.
Oh my god, I wish I had a chance to read more of it. I only read the first few issues thus far, but I am definitely gonna keep reading because I did not anticipate just how much up my alley this was gonna be. I love, like, gritty religious fiction. Like, this is very much gritty religious fiction, I would call this. Like, this guy gets possessed with this angelic being that's gonna cause the end of the world, kind of, and there's this hierarchy of angels that are all just kind of dicks, and it's just the gritty western angelic adventure, and I love stuff like that. Like, I like the show Supernatural a lot because it's kind of like that, and oh man, it's just so cool. I love Cassidy, the Irish vampire. Cassidy's amazing.
The fact he's sleeping in the bed of the pickup during the day when Tulip's out doing her thing. And what did you think of the Saint of Killers?
Saint of Killers is cool so far. He's kind of just coming off so far. Like I said, I'm only a few issues in, but so far he's kind of just coming off as this like very driven demon guy. But he's cool. I'm very interested to see more about him, and I'm interested to see what happens with Arseface from here on. Because I got past what I'll say is kind of his first pivotal moment, and I'm interested to see where his Arseface adventures take him from here.
Has Hairstar had any kind of missteps yet? The kind that would stay with you for a long time?
Not really.
Okay, those are fantastic, and I really look forward to you going across them.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna. It took me until like a week ago to actually find any of it online. I managed to find some for free, but I'm actually gonna pick up at a comic book shop probably at some point soon the first book or two. Great. Because it's all compiled in I think like a 6-volume collection, and I can't wait to check that out.
Yeah, they're all readily available.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to get that at some point. I really am liking it. I just need to read more of it because I'm really interested to see where it goes from here.
Awesome. How about you, Andrew? What did you check out for your roundtable?
I ended up checking out the anime that Jay recommended. I watched the first 2 episodes. I thought it was fairly well. I plan on going back to it after I catch up on some more Doctor Who.
Oh yeah,
Again, it's kind of hard to open the episodes up to conversation, being they are so brief and so abstract. But
I enjoyed what I watched. I think I'll definitely go back to watch more.
Cool. Yeah, I apologize for choosing something that has almost no discussion, but hey, we all say we like it, so go check it out.
no, it was definitely worth the time. Very cool.
Yeah, I liked it.
All right. Now we've all talked about what we actually went and checked out over the past couple weeks. I want to recommend, and I've talked about the past couple episodes here. Deadly Premonition. You bastards need to play it. Again, Jay, I know that you're going to love it to death. You need to check it out. Anyone who likes David Lynch and Twin Peaks, it's the best thing. It is also the worst thing since sliced old bread. I don't know. It's great. Fucking check it out. It's fantastic.
The worst thing since sliced old bread.
Yes.
Yeah, I we've talked about it enough that I will definitely say I'm gonna check out the shit out of that. Because David Lynch, love it.
Alright, what about you?
Oh man, for me, this is gonna be less of a we've tried to make them all things that people haven't heard of or kind of niche. This one ain't. 2 new Zelda games came out on the 3DS eShop, Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons. They're $5 each, and a lot of people never played those, so my thing for this week is very simple. Buy and play one or both of those. Ages is more the puzzle-based game, and Seasons is more the complex combat-driven game. They're both very difficult and challenging in their respective aspects, and they're very unique. And it's so, the reason I chose this is there's so many people I know who heard those were coming to the eShop and were like, oh, I never played them. And I hadn't either. I had played a little bit of Ages, but I had never played most of either of them. So my roundtable for this week is for you to go ahead and play at least one of those. They're $5 each on the eShop. Or if you don't feel like paying that, if you have the originals, just play some of those and talk about it if you want to. Cause they're
Does it
awesome.
count if I completed both of them 5 years ago?
You're not participating.
Yeah, you're not participating anyway. Marius isn't cool enough. But yeah, mine is just short and simple. Play Oracle of Ages or Oracle of Seasons. They're both great. And like I was saying last week, there were some people whining about they're $10 for 2 old games. They should be $1 each.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, you will get more enjoyment out. If you want to buy a used copy of Phantom Hourglass, that would probably still be $15. And you will get so much enjoyment out of one of these 2 games than you ever would out of Phantom fucking Hourglass.
Well said.
Oh my god.
Alright, what about you, Andrew? Oh, sorry about that. Were you still going, Jay?
No, I'm done.
My roundtable decision for the week is going to take me back to when I was 12 years old, and what I'm going to recommend is very immature, and you're probably going to think it's very stupid, and I agree it is stupid, but
oh boy.
it's
Are you sure this isn't Lucky Hit?
it's an abridged series on YouTube.
Oh,
and
I know what this is.
It's Ocarina of Time abridged series, and the guy who made it, I used to love him. He does a very shitty job with it. It's it's one of those things he just let's make a fucking Ocarina of Time abridged series one afternoon, and he kind of just made it all in Windows Movie Player, and it's terrible voicing and terrible everything, but that was my 12-year-old, 13-year-old experience. So I always go back and I will rewatch them every now and again because I find them effing hilarious, even if they're poorly done. So Ocarina of Time, a bridge series by the user is Adam West Lapdog, and if you want to go watch that shitty piece of shit, go watch it.
You have my attention. All right, now going from that, Andrew, you want to tell us what you've been playing?
Yes, I would love to tell you what I've been playing, because I've been playing A Link to the Past. But not since Sunday, because I've been playing Animal Crossing! Nothing but Animal Crossing. And, yeah, Animal Crossing.
Nothing to say about it.
I'm loving it. It's very nice to be playing, this type of relaxing game. It just gives me something to do. And, I've been slowly writing up my review, just trying to find the right words for some stuff. I'll know I can go to you too if I need some help, but I'm really enjoying it.
Cool.
What about you, Marius?
So I have been playing a bit of Devil Survivor, the original, because my good friends over at PlayAsia had it on sale for only like $12, and it's here in Germany it costs normally 70 euros. So I of course picked it up, and I must say it's actually a really good game. And Frank, you said you played it and had problems with the Tower of Babel at the end of the game. I actually am right now right in front of the last emboss, and I'm wondering what kind of path did you take? What kind of ending route?
Wait, is this, you said Devil Summoner?
Survivor.
Survivor? No, I never finished Devil Survivor. I was fighting, Belder is where I stopped.
Oh.
Yeah, I was around there too, actually. I liked that one a lot. It's one I've been meaning to get back to, and I sort of just pick up periodically.
It was great, but Belder was just a fucker, so I stopped.
Which one is better from the looks of it? Because there are so many
You need that
guys.
brute to damage him.
It's like 10% into the game.
Yeah, I was pretty frustrated.
Just get a ranged demon and kill him from afar.
But you have to hit him with the root first, and
Yeah, double hit and the ranged demon. So you have automatically 2 hits per round, and he can't attack back.
Yeah, I just remember I was stuck at Wendigo in that game for like a month. Had you never played the first Devil Survivor before, Marius?
No, I've only played the second one. Because the first one is so expensive here in Germany.
There was a 3DS port of it, too, Devil Survivor Overclocked.
Yeah, but
that wasn't good.
I have a Japanese 3DS.
There you go.
So, besides that, I finally got my Oculus Rift development kit, which, for those wondering what the Oculus Rift actually is, it's a 1200 by 800 screen, which is right in front of your eyes, and it puts you inside the game. It's virtual reality goggles. And it actually feels like they advertise it. You're really like in the game. You can't really describe it because it's such a realistic experience. If you move your head, it's really 1-to-1. There's no delay, nothing. And I also didn't get sick. It's a pretty good experience. Everybody should try it. It's the future of gaming.
Nice. Yeah, I definitely wanted to check that out. What games have you been playing on it most?
So I've been playing Half-Life, Portal, Minecraft. There's a nice mod called Minecraft. And what else? There isn't much out. There's a Star Wars game, Jedi Academy, for PC, which got released in 2002, which is a third-person game. Somebody modded it that it works with Oculus Rift, and it works surprisingly well for a third-person game.
Nice. Yeah, the Oculus Rift is just full of amazing stuff. I need to pick it up eventually. I just need to have the tech to support it. How much did it cost you to get the early kit?
$300 or 250 euros.
It's not that bad for the supposed future of gaming. I just love all the videos of people like starting to get sick playing it and stuff. That's pretty funny. Anything else you've been playing, man?
No.
Alright, well, what about you, Frankie?
Do you really need to ask?
No.
Deadly Premonition.
Anything.
It'll stop tomorrow after The Last of Us, but yeah, I'm still just completely stuck in Greenvale. It's Deadly Premonition. Fucking play it.
Alright. So, you've been playing Deadly Premonition, but what has Mr. J been playing?
Mr. J has been playing Remember Me.
I don't remember you.
Remember Me is okay. I'm reviewing it, so I'm not gonna say a lot about it. I want to like it more than I actually do, but it is a good game. It is flawed, though. Wait for my review. I will say, I think it's better than most of the people who are giving it bad reviews are saying, but I also think it's worse than Polygon's review is saying it is, and the other couple of good reviews of it. I think it deserves more credit for some of the stuff it does in terms of some of the efforts it tries to make. But I also think it has some very severe problems. I'm not going to say much more because I'm reviewing it, and hopefully my review will be up like the day after this comes out. So people can just go check out my review for my full thoughts. But it's an interesting game. I think there's the framework for something better there, because it's very much Assassin's Creed-esque like movement platforming stuff, but in kind of a linear world. And I think if it was more open, that would help it a lot. But besides that, man, Andrew talked me into getting Animal Crossing.
Yay!
And it's pretty cool so far. I've never played any of the Animal Crossing games before. It's cool so far. I like just having a town to manage. I'm told it opens up a lot more like 4 or 5 days in, so I'm kind of just doing whatever I can now. And it's good so far. I'm getting my town approval rating up so I can officially be the mayor, and I'm waiting for my house to get built because I'm living in a shitty tent so far. And I like it. The secretary lady who helps you out a lot is adorable. And I got one of my town members is a Egyptian kitty cat, and she's amazing. And I'm trying to think what else I even have been playing. Oh, before I picked up New Leaf, I got back into Fire Emblem a little bit again, and I had started a permadeath mode campaign, and I got back into that in a big way. And I plan on playing through the most of that because I never quite finished it on normal mode, because if you're not playing on permadeath mode, you kind of wind up with just, like, your 10 mainstay soldiers you use a lot, and then 30 other people you never use. And that's kind of the flaw of playing it that way, is you just feel like you're not tapping the potential of the game. So it's really meant to be played on permadeath mode. Currently I am turning the game off and restarting every time a character dies. But that's only for now. That's only until they start having kids. Because then I can switch them out with the newer models. But besides that, man, I'm trying to think here. It's been a hectic week. Yeah, mostly it's just been Remember Me and Animal Crossing and Fire Emblem. Oh, and a little bit more Oracle Seasons. That game is hard. I'm still on the same temple as last week because all those vertical based puzzles are absolute bullshit. I tire of those quite quickly, as one could imagine me doing. But that's about it for me. So, let's go ahead and take us out here, because we have reached the end. Just as it's the end of E3, it is now the end of another episode of the Hey Poor Podcast. So, ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to another episode of the Hey Poor Podcast. You can find us at heypoorplayer.com. We've got a lot more E3 coverage there, so if you haven't filled your appetite yet, you can go over and check that out. I did a write-up of all the indie stuff we saw there, and Andrew did some cool writing up there too as well. We've done a lot of articles on all the things people are reporting on, all the press stuff coming out about E3, because E3 is a big thing. So check us out at heypoorplayer.com. Check out Marius' site, mushroomtomatoes.com, for all your Japanese gaming and anime news. You can check us out on Tumblr at hppofficial.tumblr.com, and on Reddit at reddit.com/r/heypoorplayer. You can find us on Twitter at heypoorplayer. And you can find Trevor's video stuff on youtube.com/noiselessmound. You can find us on iTunes and Stitcher. Please give us an awesome rating, because we deserve an awesome rating, don't we? I think we do. But we have exhausted our awesomeness pools for tonight. So until next time, you've been listening to another awesome episode of Hey Poor Podcast, and good night.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Stay awesome.